Hello people, today we want to make a simple top like I showed you in the first video. The first thing I want to do is to mark the shoulder line. I'm using this chalk because I want you to be able to see it clearly on the fabric, but you need to be careful. This is a milk color fabric, so you need to be careful so that you don't stain it, and the same way you mark on the white fabric too. Okay, now the first thing we will be doing is to mark the shoulder. The shoulder measurement of this my client is 17. When we divide 17 by 2, we'll have 8.5. Okay, 8.5 like so. I want a straight line for my 8.5, so I mark 8.5 again, and then I connect the lines, the points rather. After that, from the folded edge, I folded this fabric into two. See, I folded it. I'm cutting the front first. I'll use the front to cut the back. It's just a free top. So from the folded edge, I'll go in by 3 inches, and then on this shoulder line, I'll come down by 1 inches. That's for the shoulder slope, and then I'll connect that to the 3 inches that I just marked here. Now the next thing we'll do is to mark our armhole depth. So our armhole depth is simply the shoulder divided by 2, just as you have it up here. It works most of the time. It works. Okay, you know, we had 8.5. The same thing we'll have it. This my client is a plus size person. That is why we have that. Okay, I believe you can see what I've just done. So from that from the 1 inch slope, I marked my shoulder depth and I mark it out that way. Then I want to find the middle of this armhole depth. You know, 8.5 divided by 2 will give us 4.25. So this is 4.25, and then on that point I'll mark the armhole. You know, I'm using this to cut the back, so I'll mark the half inches. That will be for the armhole curve of the back, and then for the front I'll be marking 0.75, that's 3/4 of an inch for the front armhole. Okay, the next thing I want to do, from my shoulder, I'll mark shoulder to waist. Shoulder to waist of this person is 19, plus half inch that I will use to join the shoulder. That's 19.5. All right, 19.5. Okay, so I move my tape back to 19 so that I will not be calculating half inch plus the measurement I'm doing here. Okay, that's 19. Okay, the next thing is length. The length of this top, I will be using 30. Okay, 30 for the length and 1 inch for the hemming allowance. What I will use to fold this at the hem, so that is 31. Okay, so I'll mark straight line on those points. Also, before I mark those lines, I want to mark from our shoulder to her bust. Shoulder to bust. Our shoulder to bust is 12.5, plus that half inch that I added initially. That will be 13. All right. She's tall and plus size like that anyway. Okay. So I'll mark straight line on those points. This is the waist, and this is the full length of the top plus the allowance, allowance. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is so this is the bust line, shoulder line, bust line, waistline, and the hem. That's the full length. And then we have the armhole depth. Then I came in by half inch for the back armhole curve, and then I came in by 3/4 of an inch for the front armhole cuff. Okay, before I connect the cuff, I'm going to input all my measurement. The first one is the bust measurement. This is a bust line, so we'll be putting the bust measurement on that bust line. You know, when you are measuring, you measure your bust round. So our home bust is 50. When we divide 50 by 4, it gives us 12 and a half. Okay, so this is 12 and a half. 12 and a half. For the waist, our waist is 43. 43 plus divided by 4 will give us 10.75. So here we have 10. This is 10.75. Okay, you put that down, and then our hip is 58 divided by 4, that's 14.5. 14.5. Okay, now if you look at that style I just showed you, you will see that it's a free style. So I'll be adding half inch. You can add up to 1 inch for each of this. I'm even going to add 1 inch for his. Okay, now what I will be adding in total now will be 2 inch. 1 inch for his, 1 inch for side seam allowance. So I'll be adding 2 inch for all of these measurements. 2 inch, so that we can achieve that free effect at the end. And then the next thing I will do, I want to extend this. Okay, the next thing I will do is to connect all my measurements like so. So anywhere you have sharp cuff, you do what? You blend it in like so. Blend it. There will be no sharpness. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is to come up by 1.5 inch, so that I'll cuff it in. I don't want any pointy edge on the dress. So this is what we'll be having at the end, and then I can connect my this thing for the back. You can as well do it at once, but I prefer to do it one after the other. And then for the back, for the front, and then back to that side. Okay, so I'll be cutting off now. Before I cut off, let's do the neck. For the neck, I'll be using 4 inches for the width, and then I'll be using 4 inches also for the depth, or 5. Let me use 5 for depth. Okay, and then I can connect that with my cuff, or if you are good with your hand, you can use your hand for the cuff. Okay, so then for the back, the same width, but 1 inches. 1 inch. And then look at this part of the ruler. That's where you should use for your back cuff, like so. The cloth is stretching, so you need to control it, so that anytime you're working with a stretchy fabric, you need to control it. Now the first one I'll cut is the front back neckline. You know, I will be using it to cut this to cut the back, so I will be cutting as so. It's a very simple style. Okay, so I'll cut the back armhole dot first, and then when I'm done, I'll be trimming off some excesses here. So that's why you see that I'm not cutting directly on the, because I don't want any issue for that armhole. Remember I told you it's a plus size, so don't be surprised that this place is too somehow wide or this thing. She's a plus size person. Alright. Okay, so for the back, I folded the fabric again into two, and then I placed the front that we just cut. I placed it on it. Remember, I already cut the back neck depth, so I'm doing that. I just cut exactly. You don't need to stretch yourself measuring anything anymore. It's just a free dress there. So cut exactly like what I've cut. I use the template of the back to cut that front. So when I'm done cutting, I'll now correct the front. Okay, so I'll just cut this exactly. No reduction, no addition. I'm not adding anything, and I'm not subtracting anything from the front. Okay, so now I'm done with the back. I'll just mark it so that I know the wrong side, so I can keep that aside, and then we do the correction for the front. And the main correction we want to do is the neckline. So do the neckline like so, and then the armhole depth, just the small thing. I do that as well. Okay, and then for the back too, the back will be having one button at the neck part. So let's do that quickly. So the depth of the opening should not be more than 4 inches. 4 inch like this. And then you want to do what? You will just slash open, depending on the kind of style you want at that back. But for this tutorial, you just slash it open. Slash it open like so. When you use your bias to tape it like this, tape the other one, and then you make a loop for your button. Okay, that is that. About that. Quickly, let's cut the sleeve. The sleeve. For the sleeve, let's use this particular part. And let's check the length first, if it will be enough. But I think it should be enough. Let's try and check it. Okay, this is more than enough. So I'll cut one. You can as well cut the two at once, but I'll cut one. I use it to cut the two. So how do you fold your sleeve? This is just a basic sleeve, but it has little pleats at the wrist like this. Okay, so this is how to go about it. This is how to go about it. You know, our armhole, around armhole is our shoulder rather is 8.5. So to get this fold, that 8.5, you mark it and have to hit, because you have a very wide pleated sleeve there. Or better still, you can just come here, measure whatever you have here. You know, we had the excess to this, and if care is not taken, if you just cut it normal, like the normal way of cutting sleeve, it will not be okay for your dress. So you can as well do this. We have 15. That means we are looking for 15 for that part. So anything that we do that is not up to that 15, we have to increase it. Okay, first of all, let me get a straight line here. Get a straight line here like so. Okay, now after that, to get your cap sleeve, you divide your bust measurement by 12, then you add 1. Whatever you get will be this. So for our own, so you connect those points. Whatever you get for your own, make sure you do your own. Your bust divided by 12 plus 1 will give you your cap height. Okay, now this is our own cap height. And then the next thing I want to do is to measure. You know, we had 15 there. So what I want to do for the shoulder measurement that we use, we use 8.5, right? That's 8.5. So from here I'll connect to this corner on the folded part. So I'll connect slanted like this. The next thing is to know what I have here. So from here to here I have close to 10, but not up to 10. Okay, it's even 10. So when we divide that by 2, 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. So this is the midpoint of this line. And then because I don't want any pointy edge here, I'll go in by 1.5, and then I can use my hand or use my cuff to connect those points like so. I believe you can see the way I'm doing this. When you count down, you get everything done. And then for this part, I'll connect like so. Okay, like so. So when I say you can use your hand, you can also use your hand like so. All right, so what do you want to do before you cut? Try and measure whatever you have here. You see, this is 10, so that means I'm going to add the 2 inches. And then for the down part, whatever I have here, that's what I'm going to use, because it has split. On a normal day, I run this thing. Okay, sorry, I've not measured the length, so I'll be making the length of it, because it's like 3/4 on her. So I'll be using 21 for the length, and then I will add 1.5 inch, the one I will use to join this part to the body, and then the one I will use to fold that place. 21 plus 1.5, that's 2.5. Then I'll connect it like so. Okay, so here I'll make this place, let me just make it 9 or even 10, because I will be pleating it. There's elastic there holding it, so I'll just join it straight like so. Okay, then I can cut it out. So I'm adding to this part. It's better if it's more than when it is too small. And when it is too small, so you can try it. So of course we have excuse me, of course we have what we want. So the next thing I'll be doing is to just use this to cut the second sleeve. So I'll use this to cut the second sleeve, and that's about this beautiful top. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, invite your friends, invite everyone to subscribe to this channel, so that each time I drop any video you will receive the notification. Thank you.